Roger Connect, President of Universal Accounting Center. TC, it is an honor to have you here with us today. I'm excited to have you speaking with all of us regarding testimonials and how they can be beneficial in marketing an accounting business. What I want to do is I'm going to real quickly here, just take a quick minute to introduce TC. I've had the pleasure of meeting her before, and one of the things that I can definitely stress is that in marketing your services, one of the things that you can definitely benefit from is social proof. That might be a term that you're becoming familiar with today. Social proof is literally when you're in a position as a business having people speak highly of your services or your product and they're recommending you. It's basically managing your reputation, in other words. So one of the things that I have found helpful at Universal Accounting Center as we've been working with businesses and individuals is not just tooting our own horn and having people understand what it is we do and do well and have done for so many years, but it's literally letting the customer speak for themselves as to what it is they received a benefit from our services. And the same could be true for you. What we've prided ourselves at Universal Accounting Center in doing is identifying for individuals starting and growing accounting practices different strategies and systems you can use that are effective and inexpensive in your marketing efforts. Things that are actually proven to work, things that are actually useful, but don't cost a lot of money, and more importantly, are obviously effective. So TC, you work for OnFire Content and have for now a number of years, I presume, worked with companies, helping them actually generate those testimonials from their customers. And you're going to share with us today what it is that can be done in order to use those in a marketing effort, correct?
Yep, and I am the CMO and one of the co-founders. So let's get into this. The first thing that I talked about here is what you're going to get out of the next, half hour to hour. We're going to show you how to get more leads using your testimonials and then converting them into appointments. We're going to drive business. We're going to show you how to shorten the sales cycle and, most important, get clients. So the first thing that we need to go over is compliments versus quotes. A compliment says you're awesome. A quote details why. And so here we have a couple examples. UIC is amazing and wonderful to work with. I really appreciate them. That is a compliment. UIC has excellent materials and resources, marketing, coaching, and incredible support after. That is a quote. It's specifically why to choose UCA.
UAC. So here's something I'd want to point out as you're doing this. We've for years received many testimonials of our students explaining what it is that they've liked about our services, our coaching, the individuals, the curriculum, and the successes they've had. But one of the things that I found that OnFire has been able to do is actually pull from them these testimonials in a way that the next potential student can really see how what they're experiencing in their lives today because of enrolling with Universal Accounting Center is applicable to the person that's considering enrolling, starting their business, growing their practice, acquiring clients. And so TC, you do a great job of obviously pointing that out as you show the distinction here between a quote and a testimonial.
Right. So here's the thing. Video is best. If you can get your client in front of a camera and you can have them say specifically why to choose you. But here's the problem. Most people are not comfortable in front of the camera. They get what we call deer in the headlights. Again, they give you compliments. They say how wonderful you are. They don't explain specifically how you help them. A quote is, why should a prospect come and choose you? And we're going to really focus on quotes. Also, if you use a third party, it makes it much easier to get a quote. So if you're getting a testimonial from somebody, you're really saying, tell me why I'm awesome. When you're asking and digging and getting a very specific quote, then it's tell me more why I'm awesome. If you do that yourself, it can get weird, but if you have somebody else do it, it's much more comfortable.
And I have to agree with you, TC. One of the things that I found with your services is when we've actually spoken to our clients, our customers, our students, we have found oftentimes that as they speak directly to us, it's an entirely different conversation than what they've had as they've spoken to third parties, because you're able to draw out of them really, I think, the things that they want to say, but it's kind of awkward when we're the ones asking the questions.
Yeah, one of our clients said, people just don't want to gush to you to your face. But when there's somebody else asks about them, they tell us great things. Also, so for example, let's just say that someone said, they really helped me with our taxes. Well, when you have a third party, they can say, well, how did they help you? How did they make it easier? Tell me about that. And that's what digging's all about. So now let's talk about what we call topic videos. Now, topic video, I want you to think of each individual person being interviewed on the left side and each quote as a Lego brick. Then what you do is you get a topic video, and topic videos are designed to answer a specific objection. So for example, if you have someone who says you're too much money, well, you send them a video of your client saying why you are worth every penny. And so if you see, you've interviewed 5 people over here, and then over here, you have different quotes mixed. So one might be talking about how easy you made taxes. One might be talking how you're worth the money. One might be talking about knowledge, etc. So topic videos help you address objections without you having to be you let your clients basically sell for you.
And sometimes it's not necessarily objections. What it is you're doing a great job. You're servicing your customers. They appreciate your services. What are they impressed by? In their own words, what is it that they feel they're getting of worth for the fee that they're paying? And if you look at it correctly, you'll see they'll actually say things that you don't even imagine, you don't even think of. And more importantly, they'll bring up things that perhaps you weren't even aware of. And so what we want to do here is, like TC's pointing out, is get them to cover a variety of topics, and as testimonials, create them in a thematic way, kind of collect them so that they're topical.
Yep, and then you're able to use them. So when someone has an objection or you want to highlight a specific sales point, you let your clients do it instead of you trying to do that. Okay, so here's a video that we created for UAC. And one of the things is that you actually get to hear the person speaking. So you see the text going across the screen, but on top of that, you get to hear the actual person's voice. And that helps make it very, very authentic. That's what our clients say.
When you're hearing, in this case, it's Jane speaking, you're able to actually not only just read what it is she's saying, but it is her voice that you're hearing that's explaining what it is that she's liked about the product or the service. So that's one of the things that's powerful, is it's no longer just simply text, it's now audio as well.
Yeah, and if you'll notice looking at these are specific reasons. They're not really talking about that UAC is they're wonderful people. And then you notice we have different people talking about the same things. So they're really talking specifically to other students and saying, this is the reason you need to choose UAC.
So when you're looking at an accounting service and offering services, bookkeeping, accounting, tax, consulting services, and so forth, this is the client now speaking of your business in a way that basically highlights your things that you're doing so well for them.
Yeah. So this would be your clients talking. And what our people tell us is they really like that it's authentic. And that makes a really different feel than if it was like a voiceover. All right, now let's talk about one-liners. Okay. And here we go. Okay, so one-liners this is a quote that we got for you, Roger. All right. So you can see this is a nice, wonderful quote. The thing is, we want to break it up into one-lines. Okay. So go to UAC because it's the best school out there to prepare you to become a professional bookkeeper. That's a great line for you to use all kinds of different places. Another thing is I checked out 4 other schools. UAC is really about giving you case studies and teaching you how to become a bookkeeper. So can you see how breaking these into one-lines that you can drop into conversation is really effective?
Well, the powerful part about it is as a person kind of rambles about what it is they like about someone's product or service, it can be this lengthy, very detailed explanation, but it's not a soundbite. It's nothing that can be really used in marketing. And what TC's pointing out here is, as your clients communicate all the things that you're doing well for them and the things that they appreciate, it's taking those things and extracting from them and using the testimonials intelligently in snippets so that they're topical, so that they're concise, and then you're able to obviously repurpose them in a variety of ways in your marketing, not just in the videos, but as TC is going to show, in a number of other uses, so that you can actually have your testimonials speaking of your services and the benefits that are received, rather than you trying to explain, this is what I do and here are the benefits that I expect my clients to get. The client is actually saying they're getting those.
Yes, we call them snackable. So little snackable pieces. All right, so one of the first places to use your quotes, and both video and what we call the one-liners, the written, is in your sales funnel. So anytime that you are touching a prospect, it's very important to have a quote. So we always say, make sure if you make any statement to a prospect, reinforce it with a quote from your client. And the thing that we always say, it's kind of like the difference between using a handsaw and a chainsaw. First thing we're going to talk about is following up. We all have to follow up with people. And so when you email a video of your best quotes and that are engaging, it's much easier to follow up. So what you do is you have a reason to call them. Did you get a chance to view the video? Now, even if they say no, you say, well, it was a video of our clients, and one of the things they said is, and then you just tell them one of the quotes. Now, before a meeting, before somebody even comes in, you want to send another video. And the reason for that is it builds instant trust and rapport before they even meet with you. Then during the meeting, listen. Listen to anything that they have an objection or any concerns or anything that they're excited about, and send a different topic video addressing that. This really sets you apart from any competition. And
what I wanted to jump in and say here, and I apologize, TC, for cutting you off, this is perhaps one of the most effective uses of it, because it's obviously to that specific person for a specific thing. You've met with them, there's a dialogue going on, you've kind of pre-set that up with the previous email and video. Now, having listened to the customer, the potential customer, you can either send them something that they're sensitive to, that's specific to their needs.
Yep, and it really is effective. Also, it lets them know you heard them, that you really listened to them, and that's really important too. Now, most of us have a situation where there either is a spouse or business partner, and so you talk to somebody and they say, well, I've got to talk to my spouse, I got to talk to my business partner, and you never get to talk to that person. They're influencing the decision, but you don't even get to talk to them. So what we say is tell that person, oh, would you mind if they watch this video of what our clients are saying? And that way you let your clients do the selling for you.
This is huge. So often in business, I find that there are those partners, the people that weren't in the meeting, that have a decision in that purchase or that buy. And what happens is you're basically expecting this person who doesn't work for you, who's just only recently heard a presentation or an explanation of your services, to now go do your job and represent you as if they were you, answering any questions that partner or spouse may have. And you're assuming that they're going to do as good a job as you. Well, you can't be there. How it's better to do this than to have customers represent your services and explain what they've received using your services. So the key here is empowering the people who are interested in your services to help communicate or explain that to another purchaser or another decision maker.
Yes, and the other thing too is our clients tell us they also use it to gauge interest. So you call it, let's say you're working with Jane, and Jane's got a partner, and you call Jane back and said, did your partner get a chance to view the video? If they say no, well, then hey, this is not a priority for them. And so it helps gauge the interest of that particular prospect, which is very helpful. Now, referrals. Here's what our clients tell us. People want to refer, but they do not want to be your salesperson. So that's why when you give them the right tool so that they can send the video of your clients saying why to choose you, it makes referring you so much easier. And I don't know if you ever have this, Roger, but people will ask for I want to talk to your current clients. And so one of the things that our clients tell us is they use the videos. because
Well,
they don't want to have what we call referral fatigue. Keep asking the same people.
And I find this so humorous. This is actually quite funny, and I know there's people listening in that do this. I think it's natural, but I think it's very humorous to go to a business owner and say, or to a company and say, I'd like to talk to a current customer. I'd like to speak with someone that's using your services. I'd like to speak with someone that's used your product. Who do you think you're going to get as a referral? The company is always pre-screening those customers to make sure that the only people you talk to are the ones that are happy or pleased. So I find it humorous that we solicit these types of interactions, social proof. Can I talk to a current customer? And we assume that the company isn't screening their best people to give us to talk to. So I find it humorous, but your point is true. Rather than having referral fatigue and asking our customers to do our job, what we want to do is capture that information so that they can actually record or have it transcribed, so that what we can do is say to our potential customers, I'd love to share with you what some of our people are experiencing. I'd love you to hear what they're saying. And I've gone out and professionally recorded and captured that for you to hear and listen to. Here it is. And that usually does actually meet that need and resolves this question or concern of that potential customer saying they'd like to speak with someone. This usually addresses that, and they're good to go.
Yeah, and here's an email that people use. Our clients have been using, and it says in terms of providing references, we tend to first send you a video testimonial, and then once you've checked these out, if you still need to talk to somebody, fine. But I'm being told that about 80 to 90% of the time this works fine. The other thing is, a lot of people are getting less requests because they're providing them references from day one all the way through the sales cycle by using the videos and the quotes during their sales cycle.
Exactly. Yeah. If you've embedded this into the sales cycle from the beginning, when they're becoming introduced to you, in the emails that you're sending through your correspondence, each of these things then kind of build on one another. And then at the end, you're perhaps avoiding that whole situation. Yes.
Okay, so now let's talk about social media. This is Facebook. And one of the things that you can do is you can take your video and or a quote and put it on social media. And what you want to do is, you see this red arrow here, you want to tag the person that you're talking about. So this is the exercise coach. They tag Debbie, and normally they get about 300 to 400 views. On this particular one, they got over 2,000. And then when they boosted it, they got another 2,600. So they got 4,600 views from this video. And this was amazing for them. So make sure that anytime you're talking about your clients that you actually tag them, because what happened is Debbie ended up sharing this. Okay. LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn profile is really important. And what I tell people, LinkedIn's becoming like another website. Another part of your website, because people are looking you up on LinkedIn. So we recommend that you put in your quotes in your profile. And this is my profile. And it says, quotes from my clients like these, and love of my cats make life worth living. And so it gives some quotes of clients. Now, I don't put their names on these, but it does give you a really good idea of who they are. If you've noticed, one of the things you've noticed when I'm talking is I'll keep saying my client said. And the reason is I do have clients that have said those things. But if I kept saying the person's name, it would kind of get weird. If I started giving you the name every time I said that. That being said, anytime I talk about somebody specifically, then I will say that person, or if I have it in writing. Now, this is a LinkedIn post that our CEO, Bob, did. And here's the interesting thing. He tagged Cindy Stout. She's one of our clients. And she actually got a lead. So you can go ahead and do a LinkedIn post of your client. And then you say the things that you like about them. All right. And then you say, here's what she said about us. So it makes my day when we're helping clients like Cindy Stout. And then we say things about why we like Cindy. And then Cindy actually got a lead from this. Isn't that cool?
One of the things that I think is important to capture right here, and it goes along with the social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, anywhere that you're using these videos and quotes, is I think we're always trying to find ways or things we can say in social media. ways that we can remain relevant, ways that we can do daily or weekly posts. This is an excellent source of basically, here's what everyone's saying about your service, your product, and why it is that they're using you. And in doing so, you're basically finding these different things that allow you to stay in the top of mind of those people that you're connected with, both on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and so forth. So these are wonderful uses of the testimonials as you get them, especially those sound bites that we've identified earlier.
Yeah, and the other thing too is you're edifying your clients. Now, wouldn't you be tickled if you edified one of your clients and they got a referral, like Cindy did?
This
was really fun
for them, right?
I'm sorry?
It's like free advertising for them.
It was. Yep. But I also advertised OnFire here. Bob also advertised us in a kind of a sneaky way. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to talk about blogs, posts, and newsletters. We all know we're supposed to do blogs, but the problem with a blog is that, what do you say? You know, you got to keep coming up with new information. So what we say is take each one of your different quotes and make a blog out of it. So here's how, Roger, you can do a blog with these two quotes. Like this one talks about, you know, doing debits and credits by hand is really important before you even touch the software to really understand how it all works, right? So you could do a blog about how important it is to really understand debits and credits and do things by hand before, and here's what one of our students had to say. Then the other one is, you know, how to brand yourself. All right, so you can say it's really important to know, you know, have your program not only teach you how to be a great accountant and get certified and all those things, but also how to market yourself. And here's another thing one of our students had to say. Isn't that cool?
Very much so. I think one of the things that you're stressing here is the multiple uses of these simple testimonials. You get one and look at how many places you can use it to market and stay relevant with your customer base.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so networking. All right, so there's two types of networking. One is the weekly networking, where you have a group that meets every week. And the challenge is you get up there and you say, like, you're an accountant. Everybody goes, yeah. You know, what are you going to keep saying every week? You kind of figure out what to say. Well, we say use a quote. You know, I really enjoy helping businesses, you know, get OnFire Reviews, especially when companies say, well, you can say, I really enjoy being an accountant and helping in businesses when one of my clients said this. And then you mark off that quote. And then the next week you do another quote. And then the next week you do another quote. And this way it's really effective. The same thing you can do at a big networking event, because when you walk up to somebody and tell them that you're an accountant, they kind of tune out. They know what you do. They got it. But when you say, well, one of my clients said this, and it's something very unique that you did, it really changes the conversation.
Well, I can definitely tell you that one of the things that we stress in our marketing is, in fact, the power of networking and being involved in the community. And oftentimes people refer to the 30-second, the 60-second commercials, the elevator speech. All of those use basically these types of testimonials if you use them correctly. So if you're able to go up to a potential person and introduce yourself just by name and title, you're lacking in explaining what it is that people benefit from using your services. But like you just explained, TC, if I'm able to go up to a person and say, hi, I'm Roger Connect, and they say, what do you do? Well, I'm an accountant. Well, that doesn't say exactly what I want it to say. They're going to tune out at that point. But if I say I work with business owners, I help them increase their profits, improve their cash flow, and help them save taxes. Okay, I'm getting a little bit better. But now if I go so far as to say what it is people think of me, and I say, and yeah, recently I had a client, they shared with me this, and you're able to state a quote, you're getting that much more relevant for the people that you're talking to, and they're going to be a little bit more interested in the conversation you're having with them at the networking event.
Yes, and especially a couple little things here. This is where you use your one-liners. And if you happen to have somebody in your one of your clients that is well known, and you happen to use their quote, it's almost like they're standing there introducing you to everybody. It works really effective. Okay, so here's just a fun one. We put it on the back of our business cards. Again, we're talking about a one line, and it's just a lot of fun. What we do is we order them 250 at a time. and we put different quotes on different ones, and then we mix them all up so that when we're passing them out, different quotes are on different cards. And it's just kind of a neat way of getting your word out there and then telling people what other people have to say. And then we do it with our email signatures. And of course, Roger, we put a couple of your quotes here about us.
Thank you.
But we change this out about every week. And in this way, every single time we send out an email, there's quotes there. We believe that you need to, every single time you talk to a prospect or a client, remind the clients why they love you by telling them what other clients say. So if you send them an invoice, if anything that you send them, get a quote on it. It's awesome to do that. And then lastly, definitely not least, is motivating staff. You know, we all have, maybe I'm the only one, but we all have bad days, especially guys during tax season, right? Nobody's happy. So what we suggest is that you keep your videos and you play them for your staff. So your staff just got off of a really bad call. Somebody's having a temper tantrum, and you play that and it changes their state. It reminds them why you do what you do.
So I'm going to add to this because this is something that I really believe in. Obviously, every business tries to develop a culture that they can be proud of and pleased in. So we actually have in our CRM, when our employees log into the CRM, a rotating testimonial. It's a quote that basically comes up of all of our students. And we have thousands upon thousands of testimonials that rotate through. And so as you're logging in, you actually see one of these. And what's important is you can actually, if you wanted to, skip to another one, and see a few. We have the same thing when you log into our online portal for our students. Our students will see that as a testimonial. We also have them appearing on our website, where on our website, it's part of our culture to share those on our site. And so as part of the right-hand column of the site, it actually has these appearing. So it's using them so that there's always this celebratory feeling to what it is you're doing, because it's always around you. It's something that's part of your organization. And so if you can just be continually reminded why you're different or how you're helping or what it is you're doing to improve people's lives, that's powerful, because it's sometimes that very energy that you were talking about, TC, that we all need. We're always going to be, as humans, needing to have that pick-me-up, and these are great ways to have that.
Yes. Okay, so because you are on, you've got to listen to us here, you get to have a gift. And this is for everyone who is listening. We're going to gift you a written review. What we're going to do is we're going to call one of your clients with questions you help us create. We're going to take the best parts of the conversation and we're going to create a written testimonial. And all you have to do is to go to onfirereviews.com/UAC. And then we have it complete, and then we will contact you. Now, first thing we're going to do is we'll get a hold of you, and we're going to figure out specifically what you want your clients to say. And we record the call, and then we'll have an editing session where we type everything up so that we clarify exactly, making sure that the wording is right. And you've gone through this, Roger. Tell me about it.
Well, I'm going to say a number of things about this. First of all, it's very easy. One of the things that I think TC has done is perfected the art of communication when having this conversation. And I've been on it two ways. One, as a company, kind of going through that exploratory service like you were describing, of coming up with what questions to ask. And so you're very good at helping identify what is the question that we really want to ask, what's going to get the customer to open up the most, and what are we really looking for the customer to say? What do we want to learn from this dialogue? Because TC is going to talk to these customers that I would like to kind of learn from. I don't just want to be patted on the back. I want to kind of hear and learn a few things. And so she's very good in the probing of the questions and the tweaking of the questions to make sure that we're asking the right thing. But then on the backside, I've had the opportunity with TC and with some of the others here at OnFire be interviewed for a testimonial for another business. I think I've done one or two, but the point is I've been on the interviewing side where they're asking me questions and they're wanting to get my input, my feedback, and have me describe why I do business with these clients and why I'm pleased with the services they provide. And so I've been on that receiving end where I'm being interviewed, in other words, and both processes were very, very easy. They were very, very simple. They took probably no more than 10 minutes in both cases. And so so I found that very helpful. I actually will say about coming up with the questions, that can take a little bit longer, but the interviews for the testimonials, 10 minutes. And so it's not very intrusive on our customers when we ask them to give us this feedback, because TC and OnFire content is very respectful of the time that they're asking for. So that's the first thing I would definitely add.
Yeah, and the other thing too is when we call people, we make it a conversation. The first thing we ask is, tell us about your experience. And that's really important, that the person feels that they are having a conversation with us, not that it's a survey. The other thing is what our clients tell us, and Roger, you already know this, is that we're able to get reviews from people that won't write one. They just don't have time, and they're certainly not going to get in front of a video camera. But we're able to talk to them and get it, it's a 5 to 10 minute conversation.
Well, one of the things that I've experienced, and this is with our students, a perfect example of this, we'll get emails from our students that are very complimentary. Hey, thanks, this really made a difference. This helped a lot. I learned, I applied this and got a client. I needed to have this conversation, and this coach kind of talked me through meeting with the client, or before meeting with the client, and went well. And so the point is we'll get these emails that have these little snippets of, hey, thanks, or this is going great, I'm very happy. And then to take TC and with OnFire content, have them interview this person, what was perhaps just a single sentence and a very robust, confident, enthusiastic statement. We've taken that and now through the interview gotten 10 minutes of content that we're able to now kind of splice up and use topically and so forth. So my point is you've got, I'm sure customers are out there that even face-to-face are telling you how much they appreciate your services and are very grateful for what it is you've done for them. And there it ends. It's not recorded. It's not written down. You can't use it anywhere, but they love you. And here's a chance to say, hey, would you mind actually, if I had you speak with someone, I'd love to just have them ask you a few quick questions. Most people say, sure, yes, happy to. We send out this invitation to invite them to speak with TC or someone else with OnFire, and they capture that moment of joy and gratitude, and they make it so much more useful for you in your marketing.
Yes. Now, if you have any specific questions for me, go ahead and email me at tc@onfirecontent.com. That's CONTEN, OnFire Content, CONTENT.com. And TC stands for Teresa Clark, also too cute and totally crazy. And, a lot of people ask us, why do we give people a written review? And the reason is we have a brand new concept. And we want as many people to experience the concept. There is no obligation at all. We just want you to experience it because you're going to be excited. And our passion, our mission is to have businesses hear what they're doing right. Businesses, small businesses especially, get to hear what we're doing wrong too much. And this is just a wonderful way of getting to hear what you're doing right.
Let me add to that. One of the things that I started with at the beginning of the webinar, and I'd like to kind of restate it here, is Universal Accounting working with so many individuals that over the years have been starting and building their practices, whether it's expanding their services or acquiring new clients or retaining the clients that they have. They're all striving to do so, but we've always, as Universal Accounting Center, tried to emphasize two things. Emphasizing marketing methods that are inexpensive and yet effective. And when you're looking at inexpensive and effective marketing techniques, to find something like testimonials, taking the people that are pleased with your services, pleased with the things that you're doing for them, feel that they're getting a fair value for the fees that they're paying, to take them and now have them champion you and help you in your marketing to tell your story, but no longer is it you up on your own pedestal, up on the hill, pounding your chest saying, look at me, look at me. What it is it's people you're working with who do appreciate your services speaking in your behalf. And for OnFire Reviews, TC, to be able to share that they're able to do what they're offering today for you as graduates and as people familiar with Universal Accounting, that's huge, because what we wanted to do today is give you a chance to feel what we have found effective. We've used and continue to use the testimonials of our students because we believe they better communicate what our services are and the benefits of going through and enrolling with Universal Accounting and being in our training, and what they're able to accomplish once done with the training, and what it is that they receive from the support of the coaches they're enrolled with. So all of those things, I kid all day long, the websites we have could try and communicate this, but to have a quote, to have a snippet, to have a video of our graduates, of our students speaking to that, I think it tells volumes. And for you to then use the same service, same technique in your marketing to take your clients and have them speak of what it is you do to further help you in your marketing efforts to go out and acquire new clients, this is huge. So take advantage of this opportunity with TC to obviously have her speak with you, ask you what you want to find out about your services from your clients, see what you're going to learn and glean, and then more importantly, have her understand what it is you're hoping to get for marketing purposes, what you want to emphasize in your marketing. And then she goes to bat for you to basically get that and deliver it back to you to use.
And one of the things I want to let you know, one of the things that we're known for is after you have your videos, we really work with you on how to use them. We don't just give you the videos and say, oh, good, here you are. We really work with our clients on how to use them.
And
by the way,
go ahead, go finish. I'm going to say something there as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, one of the things that I was really impressed by is I got the testimonials, we had all these, and then TC has on a few occasions been so kind to reach out to Universal Accounting and ask, how are we using them? And point out other uses. And I don't know if these were new ones that they figured out, but it was basically a conversation to say, here's how to use this, use it this way, put it here, do this with it. And it really meant that when we've gotten all this information, now what? Well, she was very clear and specific as to here's how to effectively use it. And a lot of it was shared today, obviously, using it in the social settings, putting it on the business cards, using it in your blogs, using it in your networking. All those things are obvious things, but when you're kind of in the thick of business, you might overlook, oh, I forgot, yeah, I should be doing that. Or I forgot, I used to do it and I don't do it anymore. I need to do it still, and I've got these new testimonials to use. So there's definitely the value or the power of getting them, but then it's the application, the use of them in your marketing to, in fact, go out there and get and retain the clients that you're wanting. So I just wanted to say that TC, you're doing a great job helping us use what we're getting from you as well.
Yeah, and what I tell people is, yeah, I can send you an ebook, but what we do is we actually get on with you and say, what emails do you have? What are you doing? We want to get very specific. Okay, so the last two things is I'm on LinkedIn, and it's under TC Teresa Clark. If you happen to give me a recommendation on LinkedIn for this webinar, I won't complain. And then I want to go back to, it's onfirereviews.com/UAC. That's where you get your free gift. And then you can go ahead and contact me either at the team at onfirecontent.com or TC at onfirecontent.com, and I will answer any questions that you might have.
By the way, TC, not to be specific or particular, but you said / and that's actually a /.
Thank you.
You're fine.
That's why that I appreciate that. So whatever the screen says.
There you go. Do that. And I will point out that what we'll do is actually have this as a link below as well for you just to simply click on. But the point is this. Universal Accounting Center since 1979 has been working with individuals, accountants, bookkeepers, tax preparers, as they've gone about starting and building their practices, whether it be from a part-time effort to supplement your incomes, doing it on weeknights and weekends, or literally going out as your primary income, doing this as a full practice, perhaps with employees, maybe multiple locations, where you're in fact the premier accounting service in your market. And whether you're offering bookkeeping services, payroll services, tax services, accounting services, advisory, consultative services, regardless of those things, you're always going to be in the position of taking the skills you have and with confidence go out into the marketplace and find and retain clients. And so with regards to Universal Accounting Center, we obviously teach in a variety of our programs, the Professional Bookkeeper program, the Professional Tax Preparer program, specifically in the Universal Practice Builder program, very specific, tried and proven marketing techniques that are effective in getting clients. And even more important than the techniques themselves, you're also, when enrolled, assigned coaches to implement them properly. But to add to that, things such as today's webinar of this service where you're able to take advantage of TC's offer and actually get a testimonial for your own company, to take some client of yours and interview them, but you don't ask the questions, TC or one of her staff does. And in doing so effectively, because they've known how to kind of draw out the information that you're needing to then later use in your marketing, it's perfect. So definitely realize there's no better person than obviously the social proof, telling people to use what you're doing, your service, your product. But when you take it to that next level of not just getting it, but then using it properly with TC's help, making sure you're utilizing the testimonial once you get it, that's perfect. And so definitely take advantage of this opportunity today with OnFire Reviews to literally use what you're getting, these kind complimentary comments, and use them in your marketing.
All right, well, you guys have a fabulous day.
Perfect. Hey, TC, thank you for doing this. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to share this. I know that this is something that they'll benefit from. You have a wonderful day, TC, everyone else as well. And I appreciate everyone listening in. Thank you. And remember this, if it's about business, it is universal. Take care and have a great day.